Hi, my name is Alyssa Novello, and I wrote my paper on vaccinations and immunizations and life-saving measures. I chose this because as a healthcare professional, I have a duty to promote public health, and it is extremely important to prevent infectious diseases like measles, smallpox, mumps, whooping cough, etc. I also found it very fascinating how the denial rates were being increased for kids getting into schools when they were not vaccinated. Um, so, some of the ethical issues that I discussed were beneficence, which is the moral principle of doing good or right for the patients, which coincides with non-maleficence, which is the duty to not harm. So, vaccines are proved to be safe and are not intended to be administered before a person is exposed to an infectious pathogen. The duty to not harm is upheld with the fact that we don't just vaccinate for no reason. We do it when the pros outweigh the cons. So, we also have to make sure that they are not ill, they're not on any medications that can compromise their health. Um, Beneficence also extends further to public health as a whole. When parents are refusing to have their children vaccinated, it creates social harm with a pool of unprotected individuals that are more susceptible to illness. Unvaccinated people also pose a risk for elderly and those fighting autoimmune disorders or that are undergoing chemo. I also discussed justice, which is the concept of fairness, equality, and equal treatment of all individuals. It kind of just made me ask a few questions like, is it just to refuse to provide care to individuals? Is it not fair to refuse treatment due to beliefs on vaccines? Fairness and equality are offered in the sense that every individual is offered vaccines and immunizations. Federally mandated health coverage is offered to people even with income restrictions. So everyone who is able to should put to rest the burden of vaccinations to receive the benefit of being protected from a preventable illness. I also discuss autonomy, which is the right to make your own decisions. Parents can raise a child the way that they see fit, and the US government will back that up and protect that, minus poor education, minus a disease, health, or death. Veracity is the complete truth. That means you have to tell them all the risks, all the benefits. So the parents have to be provided with all the info, everything, all the risks, all the benefits that come with every vaccination. It's also important that any healthcare employees are thoroughly informed of all the benefits and all the side effects that they are recommending to their patients. I believe part of this veracity should include the risk of unvaccinated individuals posed to the elderly, infants, and to those with weak immune systems. Lastly, I talked about health maximization. Health-related ethical obligations continue on past one's own doorsteps and out into the community. Due to the increase in unvaccinated children and adults, along with the recent outbreaks of infectious diseases, vaccinations should be mandated for entry into educational institutions. So, in my major, I have been back and forth between nursing and sonography. Either way, my code of ethics is to promote public health. And to do so, I have my belief is in vaccinations. If the pros are outweighing the cons, then I think you should get vaccinated. So throughout writing my paper, I learned truly how important getting immunized can be. Really, especially when you're around children, when you're around elderly, when you're around people with weakened immune systems, it could really save a life. So that's pretty much what I learned, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.